Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Sakura chose Naruto instead of Sasuke, part 3, subscribe if you enjoy the video, let's start the story. Sakura woke up at 7 o'clock. Her hair wasn't extremely messy, but since it was long it was all over the place. She heard a small chuckle from the corner of the room. Rubbing the sleep out of her eyes she focused on the figure. The image turned into Fox. Did you sleep well? Better than I have in 2 years. So you liked my music? It was really relaxing to tell the truth. Thank you. Now get ready for today. I need to go talk to Kakashi to see if I can train you by myself. Okay. Really? You're going to train me? That is if it is okay with Kakashi. Now go do whatever you need to do. I will be right back. He instructed with a puff of smoke replacing him. Kakashi was looking over the city of Konoha from the top of the Hokage mountain. A sound made him point his focus in the corner of his eyes. Hello Fox. Hello Kakashi. I heard you are protecting Haruno Sakura. What you heard is true. I was wondering if I could train her until the exam. You may. I'm training Sasuke and Naruto anyway. I really don't know what to train Sakura in. I can't teach ninjutsu because she has such low chakra. Her taijutsu is good enough for her to become A and I can't teach her just yet. However, her chakra control is amazing. So you need to figure out what to do with her. That's what I'm for. The Anbu turned to leave. Fox, wait. May I ask you a question? Go ahead. Who are you? You will learn in time. With another poof of smoke he reappeared in Sakura's room. Fox went through a couple of hand seals and whispered. Body Division Clone Jutsu 20. Naruto had a clone that looked exactly like the blonde boy should without his Anbu armor. Go train with Kakashi and Sasuke. Do your best, okay? You betcha. There was silence as the clone poofed out of sight. Fox. Is there someone else in there? Sakura called from the bathroom. Nope. He simply answered. Sakura came out brushing her damp hair. Of course she was dressed and everything else that she needed to be ready for a day of training. What did my sensei say? I can train you for the next 2 months. Sweet. The two went down to breakfast. The elder woman had prepared a wonderful variety of foods for the two to devour. The two put their dishes away and walked outside. Where are we going to train? We'll be there in a couple seconds. Out of the blue he grabbed her and jumped onto the roofs. He jumped over a large wall in front of them and stopped after he landed on the other side. It had a large open area and a pool of water with a waterfall. The sun reflected off the water at just the right angle that it illuminated the entire place. Wow, what are we going to work on? Taijutsu? Ninjutsu? Jinjutsu? All of them? Now. 2 months later. The training had gone quite well for everyone. Sasuke improved on his Sharingan abilities, Naruto got better chakra control, and more, and lastly Sakura had improved altogether. Sasuke noticed that Naruto was his height. Even though the real Naruto is actually 4 inches taller than Sakura now, she is only 3 inches shorter than Sasuke. Team 7 met at their original meeting place on the bridge. Fox said he would watch over her as she was with her team. She went up and talked with Naruto. Fox clapped his hands and returned to his normal attire. Using one of his father's techniques he switched places with the clone. Hi Naruto. Hey, have you grown? You're like taller than both Sasuke and me. I am? Wow. Cool I am. Now I'm not the short one anymore. Hey Sakura, would you like to go out for lunch afterwards? Sure. You could call it our first date. Their sensei interrupted them when he appeared. Kakashi, you're early. Naruto and Sakura sat there dumbfounded. Well, it's an important matter. I have suggested all 3 of you for the chunin exam. It's about time I go to the next rank. Give it your best shot even though you don't need to. Here are your entry applications. If you wish to be part of the exam, go to room 301 at the academy tomorrow at 4 p.m. Asu. All 3 yelled in confident tones. Minutes later. So Sakura, where do you want to go? Wherever you want to go. I want you to decide. I don't want you to have to watch me eat ramen all day long while you are already done. How about here? She pointed at a small restaurant that was to the left of them. I have actually heard they have delicious food. Sure, let's go there. The two walked into the restaurant. There weren't a lot of people present, but the feel of the place was warm and inviting. The two took their seats and began to chat. So Naruto, what is up with you? I've gotten a whole lot stronger since the last time I saw you. The boy told proudly. My teacher has made me stronger too. Who was your teacher? I don't know if I can tell you. Oh well, what would you like to eat now? Naruto and Sakura both ordered what they thought sounded good. Communication wasn't what was going on during their meal. All they did was stare at each other when the other wasn't looking at them. Naruto's starting to mature. He is also starting to get quite handsome. The exam is making me nervous though. Am I good enough so I'm not in the way anymore? It looks like it's going to rain. Wow, Sakura is beginning to develop as a woman. She doesn't have a flat butt and chest anymore. Watch a kid, I don't want you to become a pervert. I know Fox, but you have to admit she is hot. She reminds me of my girlfriend. Who was she? Her name was Kuruno. She was a white two-tailed fox. Everyone loved her, but she had chosen me even though I was an outcast. To tell you the truth, Sakura reminds me of her. She had no blemish on her body and she had a face to prove it. Sure, she had an attitude that no one wanted to mess with, but she was still as beautiful as the sun in the morning when it rises. We got engaged when we were young. That is exactly how Sakura is. So what happened afterwards? 4 days before we were going to get married she disappeared. Of course I went looking for her and found that a human killed her. I recognized the symbol on the forehead protector and that's when I lost all control. I attacked Kahona because they killed her. Now that I think of it I remember that there was something similar to the way that the person killed her and oh never mind. Do you know who did it? No, all I can remember is that it was a woman. She was beautiful, but I didn't really care. When I attacked your village, I tried to find her, but failed. Naruto? The boy jumped from her sudden voice. Yes. He stammered. Are you alright? You look like you were thinking hard about something. It was nothing. Did you enjoy your lunch? Yes. Thank you. It was my pleasure. Like Sakura had predicted earlier, it started raining. Sakura, why don't you come to my house until it clears up? Sure. The two ran for what seemed like an hour before they reached Naruto's house. He unlocked the door and she stepped in. Her hair and clothes were wet. Naruto was the same as her. While she stood there in the entryway he told her to wait here. In his room he reached his arm into the same wall he had pulled out his chest out of a few months ago. He reached the second compartment. Pulling out the second set of clothes he went back to the shivering Sakura. Here there is a towel in the bathroom you can use to dry yourself. Sorry I don't have any undergarments for you to wear. That's no problem. Mine are dry enough. She blushed slightly. The bathroom is the first door on the right. Oh, and don't put on that black underpiece of the clothing. It's weighted and its weight is from 50 pounds to 100 pounds. It feels light right now because chakra has been put into it yet. Thanks. She dressed and came out. What she wore gave a slight nosebleed to Naruto. Her slim body was acknowledged by the black undershirt that showed a little of her cleavage. The green skirt-like shorts weren't too tight on her waist and thighs but were just tight enough to make her tiny waist known. She had a green waist-length vest-like coat that made her appear hotter to Naruto's point of view. There were a lot of other things that made her look even sexier, but right now they didn't really matter to Naruto because he was too busy foaming at the mouth to care. Sakura blushed at this and asked him a simple question hoping to wake him from his current state. So you like what you see? By the way, whose are these? The boy nodded furiously to her first question but paused before answering the second one. They were my mother's. I didn't know her and all that I do know is that she died giving birth to me. Sore. Don't worry about it. It is in the past. Still you look amazing in that. She blushed pink. Why thank you. You can keep them if you want. I have no use for them and they fit you perfectly. Are you sure? I don't want to take something that means something to you. Well, I'm giving something that means something to me to someone who is dear to me. He said confidently. She couldn't control herself anymore. Sakura leapt into his body, completely tackling him. Her lips instantly locked onto his. Her arms were wrapping around his neck while he was encircling her body. Naruto blushed when he felt her chest press against his. One of Sakura's hands removed itself from behind his head and traveled below his shirt. The instant it touched his toned stomach his eyes shot open and his body was sent crashing through the floors to be precise. Sakura barely had time to keep herself from falling down after him. Luckily for them no one really lived in that apartment building. Naruto? She screamed down through the floors. He tried to see where he was but the smoke didn't allow him to. Finally the dust cleared and he looked up 10 floors. What happened? The ninja jumped up to the surprised girl. What happened? She almost yelled. I don't know, but you're an extremely good kisser. She blushed immensely. This occurrence was really strange to the two. Neither of them knew what to make of it. Ayubi, do you know anything about this? Sorry kid, I have never experienced anything like that before. After that the two looked outside. To their relief the sky was clear and it was safe to take her back to her house. People gave amazed looks as the two walked down the road. Most of the elderly civilians and ninja recognized the clothing that Sakura was wearing. The only thing they were wondering was, why was she wearing the fourth second's wife's clothes while Naruto was wearing his father's clothing? No one really knew the answer. Thank you for walking me home, Naruto. She hesitantly leaned forward and kissed him lightly on the lips. Their kiss would have deepened if Fox hadn't suddenly appeared. Pulling out a katana, he held it towards the boy's throat. I did think I could allow this, Uzumaki. Fox. Oh, Sakura stammered, blushing profusely. Sorry, Fox. The boy said, backing up. Just don't let me catch you doing it again. The Anbu informed, removing the blade. Fox, please don't worry about it. It was me who kissed him. He forced it on me. Oh, okay, but still, what would your mother think if she caught you next time, and I don't? She nervously gulped. She knew how everyone felt when she lost her temper because she gained her temper from her mother's side of the family. Naruto left with a wave of his hand and blew a kiss. Sakura, wanting to show she saw it, caught it and placed it on her cheek. Are you two done? It's dark, you should get inside. Okay. The next day. Naruto met up with Sasuke and Sakura as they walked towards the academy. It was currently 3:45 p.m. No one wanted to speak to the blonde because he looked angry for some reason. They soon appeared before a large group of genin. There were two ninjas standing by the door, blocking the entrance. The blonde walked up with his two teammates. Get out of the way. He ordered the older-looking ninjas. Make us the one to the left said. You don't want me to. Bring it, you punk. The black-haired ninja swung his fist towards Naruto. The blonde simply grabbed the fist and twisted his body. With a little of his strength, he sent the older ninja crashing through the guardrail and off the second story. You little brat. You'll pay for that. The other ninja swung his fist. Make me whisper to Naruto. As the fist came down, the genin dodged to the left and raised his leg to almost 180 degrees from its original position. Once the other ninja had missed his intended target, Naruto brought down his leg with a lot of force. It sent the boy through the floor. Placing his hands in his pants pockets, he walked towards the door. He continued to walk even when he was 1 foot away from the door. Suddenly his body went through the door. Everyone couldn't believe what happened. Then the boy's head appeared through the door again. Yo. Sasuke, Sakura, you guys coming? It's just something you should have seen before we got here. He informed me as his head once again disappeared. Everyone followed, but the weak ones got trapped in another. The rest of Team 7 followed their teammate. Since when could he take out two ninjas without breaking a sweat and detect? Note to self: never mess with Naruto when he is angry in the morning, Sasuke thought. I wonder what is wrong with him. Sakura thought as she went through the fake door. They met their teammate who was standing in front of a set of tall doors. What took you? Came his voice. All of a sudden a puff of smoke occurred. Kakashi stood before them. I see you passed the. I have come here to wish you good luck. Thanks, Kakashi. Sakura stated. Now go and try your best. With another poof, their sensei was gone. Silently, Team 7 opened the doors and entered the first part of the chunin exam. There were at least 200 ninja in that room. Naruto instantly noticed that all of them were looking directly at him. Fox, can I play with them? Go ahead. I haven't seen fear in someone's eyes for a long time. Thank you. The boy closed his eyes and opened them once again. The only difference is that Naruto had red eyes and sharp pupils. Using his kitsune deception, he cast it on all of the leaf ninjas so that only people from other nations could see his eyes. They all jumped backwards in pure terror. Nice kid. You got them good. Thanks, but how do you turn off these eyes? You don't know. Now you're stuck with them for a long time. Great. At that moment, Sakura stepped up to the blonde. I believe you're having trouble. How can you tell? I can sense it. The black-clad ninja lifted his face to become level with Naruto's. His usually cloth-covered eyes shone blood red. Naruto didn't flinch at all. I see you have the same type of eyes as I do, Bagato. Technically, I can't see your true eyes thanks to you. The blonde released the hat that deceived the other genin's eyes. Is that better? It doesn't matter. I'm afraid I am Bagato Sakura. We have a lot in common, my friend. What do you mean by that? We both have no family left and you know the same pain as me. How do you know anything about me? My eyes see all. Your clan is one of the most powerful clans that are known because they specialize in speed and power. Your father was the 4th Hokage, you have, how can I say it? The tall genin bent down a few inches to whisper in the boy's ear. The most powerful demon in your stomach. How do you know about him? He whispered so only Sakura could hear. Because of my bloodline, I can search your minds for anything I want to know. Don't worry about your most personal secrets, I cannot enter. It's not my bloodline that won't let me, it's just that only you can let me enter them. What is your bloodline? I have a scroll about your clan, but I can't read it. I don't know why my father gave it to me. It's known as dragon's blood. My family was hunted down because of it. I am the only survivor. I was born with these eyes, and most people didn't want to get near me because of them. As for the rest of my bloodline, I can't show you at this point and time. Now if you need help reading it, then I will assist you. I too want to know what that scroll says. It was nice talking to you, but I guess they're about to start. Good luck. You too, Uzumaki. Sakura placed the cloth back over his eyes and walked over to Akira and his other teammate. Naruto had reached Rookie 9 and placed the back on. Wow, Sakura, nice clothes. Where did you get them? Ino asked. That instant Ibiki walked into the room. Shut up and listen. He yelled over the chatting. Everyone paid attention. Slowly they walked to the center of the platform. As you all know, you have been chosen by your country to represent your country in the chunin exam. I am known as Ibiki. There was an uncomfortable pause. Now everyone will get in an orderly line and pick a piece of paper from this box. When you have gotten your number you will take your seat. Once this is done, I will instruct you in what else you will do. It took about 30 minutes for all 200 candidates to select their number. Once you all get your seats we can begin. Okay, you will receive a piece of paper with 10 questions. You have 1 hour to answer them. You will all start with 10 points. At the end of the exam you will need at least 7 points to pass. If you get one question wrong you will be deducted by 1 point. If you are caught cheating you will lose 2 points each time you are caught. If you are caught 3 times you will be excused from this exam. Oh, if one of your teammates is excused you will also be gone. Just one last thing. The last question will be revealed 15 minutes before the hour is up. He looked over the crowd and said, you may begin. The hour began to tick away. Once most of the Rookie 9 figured out that they were supposed to cheat in order to pass they went into action. Sharingan Sasuke thought. Byakugan Neji and Hinata thought. The minutes began to run down and so was the number of ninjas. Soon there was only 16 minutes until the end of the test. Pay attention now, it's time for the final question. Most of the ninja tensed. Just so you know, the 10th and final question has its own set of rules. The first is that you must choose to take it. What? If you don't take it then your points will be reduced to 0 and you fail. If you choose to take it and guess incorrectly you will never be able to take the chunin exam for the rest of your life. Everyone was surprised except Naruto. Hey, Foxy does his job well, doesn't he? Who's Kit? He is the special Ibiki. He specializes in torture and interrogation. He is well known for his work. That's a load of crap. There are guys who have taken this exam many times before. Some ninja from the rock informed me. You're right, but it's my time and it's my rules. I will however give you a way out. You may choose not to answer the 10th question and you can try again next time. There was a great silence. Those who don't want to take the question raise your hands and you and your teammates will exit. Many people raised their hands. The original 200 had been reduced to 90 and now was being reduced to 72. 10 more minutes passed before they spoke again. This is your last chance to quit. 5 minutes later. I guess this is all, so I congratulate you on passing the first part of the chunin exam. Everyone was in shock. But I don't get it. Most of the genin screamed. Ibiki didn't get enough time to explain anything. Suddenly a ball came flying into the room. The shattered glass was thrown throughout the room. Oh no. What is the matter? It's Mitarashi Anko. Don't let her looks fool you, she is dangerous. She had a crush on me 1 year ago. I knew it, my team knew it, and everyone else knew it. She tried to make me take her home after a mission, and of course I did. She then tried to put her charm on me. From what I was getting from her she wanted to just say I ran from her and she chased me for 2 days straight. Man, I wouldn't have wanted to be in your shoes even though she is quite attractive with what she's wearing. I don't know if I could say that. Why's that? When she was putting her charm on, let's just say there is a lot more to her than you first look at her. The bowl unfolded and lo and behold, it was indeed Mitarashi Anko. Listen maggots, the easiest part of the exam has just ended. From now on it is harder than you could ever imagine. Ibiki peeked from around the cloth that blocked his way. Bad timing, Anko. The woman's sweat dropped. Sorry Ibiki, but hey, you left 24 teams left. There are a few outstanding ones here. Whatever, by the end of the second test less than half of them will be left. Now all of you follow me to the second part of the exam. All 24 teams followed her to the second part of the exam. Welcome to training area 44. We also like to call it the Forest of Death. You know this place? Yes, I have only dared to go in there twice. Anko began to explain the whole situation to the genin while Kyuubi and Naruto had their chat. Is it that dangerous? No ninja should ever go in there without another person. That place is filled with bugs, large animals, and many other things. Okay. That would give anyone the creeps. Luckily no one here knows that. Well, it looks like Anko is done talking. I think it's time to begin. Naruto is about to start. Sakura yelled over her shoulder. The blonde caught up with his friend and waited at the chain-linked fence. 3, 2, 1, begin. Every ninja was off towards the center of the training area. All ninjas were in the heat of running. All of them were trying to get there and were also trying to detect other ninja. Sasuke began to sense other ninjas approaching their position. Naruto. Yeah, Sasuke. We have company. That instant, 100 flew at them. Sasuke, you know what you do. Don't I always? Doten. Doryuheki. The large wall of mud arose from the ground. Once it was about 100 feet tall, it solidified. Kunes were sent in every direction. Some of them almost hit their attacker. Fukukuku, it seems you are, as they say, Uchiha Sasuke. Who are you and what do you want? My name is not for you to know yet, and, as for your second question, I want you. Sasuke stared at the man up in the trees. He was tall, and his long black hair was flowing in the slight breeze. His somewhat peachish skin made him look weird with the clothes he was wearing. Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Itachi is his brother. Even though I couldn't get Itachi to join me, maybe I can get his little brother to help me. After all, he is an Uchiha, and they desire power above anything else. Sasuke, what are we going to do? Sakura asked. Okay, we all need to attack at once. Naruto from behind. Sakura, you hide from a distance, and I will attack from the front. Let's go before he puts up his guard again. Naruto informed me. Right, move out, Sasuke ordered. The unknown genin was still having a conversation with himself. Pain. Kakakyu no jutsu, Sasuke whispered. The Uchiha made the necessary hand signs. Naruto jumped from his hiding spot behind the enemy and kicked him toward Sasuke. The man felt like an idiot and tried to correct himself so he could land on his feet. His effort was all in vain because Sasuke launched his trademark. The massive fireball flew towards his target. Oh, so he can actually use that. Impressive. The man's body was engulfed in flames. His body fell to the ground. Bullseye, the boys whispered. They were amazed when they saw their target get up and dust himself off. You obviously think you can hurt me enough to kill me? The man mocked. Both boys looked strangely at the man. His flesh seemed to be falling off, as though it wasn't even his. Who are you? Sasuke asked. So now that I can't hide behind this face anymore, I guess I should tell you. My name is Orochimaru. Oh no, Fox, do you know who this is? No, who is he? He is one of them. He was one of our current Hokage students. He specializes in snakes. His obsession for learning all in the world made him kill his own country's ninjas and use them as guinea pigs. He's about 50 years old now. I can sense that he is extremely dangerous. Be careful. I will. Sakura was now by Sasuke's side. I think we should begin our fight, except it will be for our scrolls. He pulled out his scroll and swallowed it whole. But also for our lives. Sasuke, Sakura, don't look into his eyes. The blonde yelled. His teammates quickly closed their eyes. Orochimaru was impressed. Tell me, Naruto, how do you know what I was going to do? I know a lot about you, Orochimaru. You use your killing intent to stun your opponents before you kill them. How do you know so much about me, kid? I have complete access to all the information in Konoha. Well, most of it, that is. This ought to keep you busy while I deal with Sasuke. The Sannin summoned one of his medium-sized snakes to attack the boy. It wrapped itself around the tree and slithered towards its prey. It struck and Naruto jumped straight into the air. It continued to follow him. Unsheathing his katanas, he blocked its fangs. Using his strength, he flipped over the open mouth and started to slide down the snake's head. Once he got to about in between the eyes, Naruto twisted around and shoved the swords into the animal's head. While he slid, he completely cut open the head of the snake, instantly killing it. Sakura and Sasuke had been doing quite well. They were able to keep Orochimaru at a distance. Now the snake nin had trapped the two in a part of the open area. Sasuke took out their scroll. I'll give you the scroll if you just leave us. What? Naruto mentally yelled at him. Sasuke pulled out their scroll and tossed it towards the man. Naruto instantly appeared and grabbed the scroll. After that, he punched the Uchiha across the clearing. Naruto, you idiot. What are you doing? You're not the Sasuke I know. The Sasuke I know isn't such a coward. The Sasuke I know would take on anyone no matter how powerful they were. The boy was taken back by this. The blonde saw the change in Sasuke's eyes. Though he was angered by his friend, he blew it off and charged Orochimaru. So this kid is brave enough to charge me head on. No yeba. The boy swung his arm back and propelled it forward. The snake nin looked at the boy curiously. Suddenly he felt something hit him and he was sent backwards. The only thing weird is that he didn't see it. Now I remember, K's no yeba is a wind technique that creates a blast of wind and it requires no weapon. This kid is quite impressive. Page Bunshin no jutsu. Hive clones appeared and grabbed onto Orochimaru. Naruto smiled at the nin. What is he doing? Bunshin Daibakuha. Instantly all 5 clones exploded. Woo! Sakura exclaimed. Sasuke just looked surprised at the genin. How is he this strong? Then again he was angry this morning and I didn't really help him any by trying that stupid stunt. Naruto is right, I was being a coward. While the raven-haired boy talked to himself, a large snake emerged from the smoke and headed straight towards him. Sasuke. The blonde yelled. Ox gave me some chakra. I need to get to him now. Got it. The snake's mouth was open to its extreme. As it closed the distance between the two, Naruto appeared on top of the serpent's head. Quickly he opened a scroll, bit his thumb, and placed the blood on the words. A large poof of smoke replaced the scroll. Chakra blade. The large blade that Naruto held increased its usual 7-foot length to a 35-foot glowing blade. He jumped up and stabbed through the animal's head. Its mouth was closed the instant it hit the ground. Unluckily for the snake, Naruto had stabbed through the roof of its mouth and had gone in an angle. So the snake's head was split in half from the front of the mouth to the back of its skull. Ripping out the blade, he made it disappear. You okay, Sasuke? I'm fine, dope. Let's get going. We need to get to that tower quickly. The genin leapt into the distance. A bulge appeared on the dead snake's back. Orochimaru stepped out of the corpse. That Naruto kid is quite interesting, maybe I should add him to my subordinates. 1 hour later. Naruto, can we rest? Sakura asked, huffing and puffing. Of course we can. Naruto answered. Sasuke put his hands in his pockets and leaned against a root. So Naruto, what were you so angry about this morning? My stupid landlord had me working all night repairing the floors and ceilings I broke. Oh, so are you okay now? How could I not be when we have both scrolls? What? The two genin exclaimed. See for yourself. The blonde pulled out 2 scrolls. One said heaven while the other said earth. How did you get the other scroll? Sasuke. Deception. I used one of my blank scrolls to copy and then I switched it with Orochimaru's when I kicked him toward Sasuke. I made a duplicate of each scroll just in case if we needed to give an opponent a fake on or if we could switch one. That's absolutely genius. Sakura exclaimed. I have to hand it to you, Naruto, you actually did something smart. Now that we have both scrolls, we need to get to the center of the complex. Asu. After 5 more hours of running, they got extremely close to the tower. Night had finally come. We need to stop. If we continue any further we might run into enemy traps. Sakura stated. You guys can go to sleep. I'll keep the first watch. The blonde informed. Both of the other genin went instantly to sleep. The moon barely shone through the thick woods. Naruto watched as Sakura slept and, as the moon's light pierced through the treetops, it brightened her face. He took off his coat and laid it on her body. The large clothing easily covered her small frame. Well, this is going to be a long night. As the boy sat there in the darkness, he searched for any other chakra signatures. Luckily for him, he didn't sense one for about 10 miles away. Fatigue finally kicked in. He drifted off into a light sleep. Any noise that his enhanced ears could hear would instantly wake him. Hours passed quickly and Naruto had woken up. Uzumaki had heard a few people talking. They were about 100 feet away from his current position. Dosu, there is our target, Uchiha Sasuke. Said one. I know, but we must make sure that they are unprepared for us. Answered the one who was referred to as Dosu. Whatever. Was all the girl teammate could say. I better take care of these people before my team wakes up. Past sleeping on them. How about I just deceive their minds so they don't hear a single thing? That'll work. Kitsune deception. Naruto didn't stir because of obvious reasons. The ninjas began to close in on his teammates. 3, 2, 1. The blonde shot out from his position. Apparently he had surprised them due to the fact that they froze once his eyes came in contact with theirs. He released what he had on his eyes. Hopefully I get the hang of this eye. Why can't I move? All 3 sound nins exclaimed. The boy stopped 2 feet away from them to explain. It's because of my eyes. Now I believe we were about to fight. With one quick kick he knocked all 3 of them in separate directions. They crashed into the scenery that surrounded them. He's got a powerful kick. Dosu whined. Surround him, Zaku ordered. Dosu and Kin obeyed. You will not get in the way of our goal. The feminine enemy stated. Bring it, I will not let you touch them. The sound nins charged towards the boy. Suddenly they jumped into the air. Page Zenbin no Jutsu. Kin yelled. Zankuro. Zaku screamed. Thousands of needles went speeding towards Naruto, but halfway in their flight their speed increased thanks to Zaku's attack. Acting quickly, the boy pulled out a scroll and summoned the same sword he used against the snake. It was an exact replica of Zabuza's sword. He placed his hand in the circle near the top of the blade and began to spin it above his head. All the needles bounced off, but the air pressure pushed the genin into the ground. Grabbing onto the handle, the blonde opened the handle. As he did, needles shot out at Kin. She covered her open vital points before the needles pierced her arms and legs, and that ended up rendering her immobile for a while. Osu attack now. Zaku barked. The bandaged genin charged at the blue-eyed shinobi. Hi Myson. The boy yelled as he swung his arm that had the melody arm on it. I don't think so, Naruto said. With one smooth motion Naruto detached the melody arm and placed it on his forearm. Rearing his fist back he slammed it into the ground. Sound shockwave. Both of the male enemies were sent into some of the large trees. While the boys continued to fight, Kin had dragged herself over to the sleeping ninjas. Hey blonde, I would give up if I were you. Dosu informed me. Why would I do a thing like that? Because our teammate will kill the girl and Sasuke if you don't, Zaku added. Naruto looked at his teammates and at Kin. Hawks, what should I do? Let me take over. Okay. Naruto's features appeared more animal-like, but his eyes stayed the same. In the blink of an eye he had Kin pinned beneath himself, Zaku pinned with two katanas crossing over his neck and weird-shaped holding his hands down, and Dosu had the large sword hovering over his body. Kin began to blush immensely when she realized the position she was in. Naruto had his legs pinning her legs down, his pelvic region was extremely near to hers, his hands pinned down her needle-filled arms, and his face was extremely close to hers. Her blush continued to increase with every passing moment. Is he going to take advantage of me? She instantly thought. You can't be serious, can you? The blonde asked her. What are you talking about? Due to the look in your eyes and the blush on your face you think I am going to take advantage of you? Was all she could muster. There was a longing silence until Dosu spoke up. We'll give you our scroll if you let us leave. Keep your scroll. I have no use for it. Now I believe your name is Kin. Yes, what does matter to you? Hold still. He ordered, this won't hurt much. She was right, he was going to take advantage of her. She began to try and struggle free, but failed miserably. Using his hands he put her arms above her head and gripped them with one hand. Naruto began to grab the needles that were in her leg and pulled them out one by one. Then he went to the ones that had gotten past her defense and landed on her side. Next he went for the ones in her arms and shoulders. She felt this strange feeling towards this blonde-haired genin. What is this feeling? Is he being nice to me? No one has really ever done that for me. His hands were gentle as they pulled out the needles. Summoning his large sword he replaced the needles back into the handle. After Dosu was free he helped Zaku out of his predicament. Dosu, toss all those over here. Naruto told the bandaged ninja. The boy complied and with swift movements, Naruto grabbed all the weapons. Putting them in their respective places he pulled out a jar of salve. Kin, here, put this on the wounds. He said as he got off of her. Thank you. I never caught your name. The name is Uzumaki Naruto. I'm Tsuchi Kin, that is Kanuta Dosu, and last, but not least is Ibumi Zaku. Nice to meet you, but remember I could have taken your lives, but decided to not. If you want you can stay here in Konoha and restart your lives and not have to be controlled by Orochimaru. I have a friend who is more than willing to personally see to it that you can stay in Konoha. If you need to contact me, use this. He summoned a strange-looking kunai. We'll think about it. Kin answered. Oh, and if you want the other scroll there's a party of mist nins in that direction. Oh, and Dosu, here's your melody arm back. Keep it. I have another one right here anyway, and thanks again Naruto. Dosu said. No problem. You guys better make it to the second part of the I would look forward to fighting you again. The sound nins jumped towards the mist nins. On their way they began to talk about Naruto's offer. Should we accept the boy's offer? Dosu asked. I don't know Dosu, but the kid does have a point. We could start over with our lives. Zaku added. He was extremely nice when he helped me. Kin asked. I think Kin has a crush on Naruto. Zaku. Same here Dosu. Shut up both of you. The boys laughed as their teammate blushed furiously. The mist nins didn't know what hit them. They didn't realize what happened until they were disarmed and lost their scroll. Back with Naruto and company. The blonde watched as the three disappeared. He cast him on his friends. Sasuke, Sakura, wake up. They stirred and woke instantly. What is wrong? Sakura inquired. No, nothing at all. We should get going before we are attacked before we get to the tower. Whatever, let's just get going. The tree packed what was unpacked and Sakura gave Naruto back his coat. After thanking him they were off. Surprisingly enough they didn't notice the melody arm on his right forearm. The three jumped towards the treetops. In about 2 hours they arrived at the complex. The sand nins were already there. Gaara just gave Sasuke and Naruto one of his famous unemotional glances. Once shown to their rooms Team 7 had settled down. On day 3 of the 5-day limit Naruto found Sakura in her room deep in thought. Hey Sakura. No answer. Again no answer. The boy began to lightly tap on her forehead. Sakura finally awakens from her thoughts to realize Naruto standing in front of her. Is something wrong? He simply asked. No, I'm fine. Don't lie to me. His blue eyes looked worriedly into hers. I hate it when you do that. For some strange reason I feel like I'm always useless to you guys. Is that what it's all about? He asked with a smile on his face. I'm serious. How can you be worthless? You give me a reason to fight. What do you mean? Aku taught me that when you have a precious person to fight for, only then can you become strong. This is an important lesson. You, Sasuke, Iruka and Kakashi are the first to acknowledge me. To me you are my precious person to protect. I will not let anything happen to you. Wow, Naruto, I am your precious person. Of course you are, why wouldn't you be? She was speechless. All she could do was jump into his body and start kissing him. They continued on for a while until, of all the people to show up, Kakashi walked through the door. Am I interrupting something? Sakura jumped off her companion quickly. No, not at all. She answered, blushing profusely. Then why is there lipstick on Naruto's mouth? I don't wear lipstick, Kakashi. Oh well, it doesn't matter now, does it? If you two are done with your antics, you can join everyone in the dining hall. Thank you, sensei. Naruto slowly walked past the girl, but before he exited the room he whispered to her. Well, I'll continue this tonight. She began to blush even more. Soon she followed her teammate out of the room. Dinner consisted of many things, most of them were delicious. The team from Sound had actually made it right before the feast had commenced. No one talked, as they ate the meal gratefully. Once they were done, the three Sound members met up with the Uzumaki. Hey Naruto. Kin called to him. Yes. We three have come to a decision. We would like to become part of the Leaf. Dosu informed me. I agree with him. Zaku said. Good. Now all we have to do is to wait until after the preliminary rounds of the second part of the exam. After that I will get my friend to talk to the Hokage. Thank you, Naruto. Oh, and just so you know, if you get matched against Gaara, forfeit immediately. He is suppressing his true power and it rivals some low-level jounin. Thanks again, Naruto. Bye for now. It was near midnight when Naruto had finally entered her room. For some strange reason she was still up in the clothes he had given her. The boy looked questionably at her. Are you okay? His tone had a lot of worry in it. Naruto, I was thinking about what you said and I don't really know who needs my protection. Sakura, it's not a matter of who you can protect, it matters who is precious to you. Let's say your mother, for instance. You fight for her so that she will be able to see you again. Sakura, I can even be your strength in battle. There are times where I wouldn't be able to handle a situation, but you will. Do you understand? Yes, I do. What took you so long to get here? Sorry, I had to talk to Kakashi and some other people. Who else did you talk to? Oh, amazingly enough, Sasuke actually wanted to talk to me. Really? Now that is over, where did I leave off? I think it was right here. He grabbed her sides and pulled her in. Kissing her gently, she melted into the embrace. They didn't kiss for long, but it was enjoyable. Sakura, please get some sleep. We only have a day to prepare. Final day. All of the Rookie 9, Sakura's team, Guy's team, the Sound 3, the Sand siblings, and a team of Grass Genin made it through the second part of the exam. Stepped into the middle of the ring. He raised his arm to silence the chatting Genins. Now settle down. I will not repeat myself. A sickly-looking man announced. I will call out your names. When your name is called you will enter the ring. I will tell you when you can begin to fight each other. You may not kill your opponent, but you may either beat them into submission, knock them out, or they forfeit. If you try to break this rule I will interfere. Now we will begin first match. The Grass Nin stepped into the center and a brown-haired boy named Akira did the same. The weird thing about Sakura's teammate was that he wore his headband over his left eye. Once again he lifted his arm. The instant his arm swung down, the Genin ran at each other. Akira began to do lots of hand signs. The strangely clad Leaf Ninja suddenly began to glow with an intense light. Everyone had to cover his or her eyes. It took quite a while for the brightness to disappear completely. Akira was fine, but for his opponent, he didn't appear to be in such good condition. Winner Midamashi Akira. Akira jumped up onto the balcony. Smooth Midamashi is really smooth. Sakura stated. Well, how was I supposed to know that I was going to trip and hit my head against his? Don't forget that you fell on him, then kneed him in the chest, and then one of your explosion notes went off. I'm surprised that they even let you graduate for being such a klutz. Second match, Bigado Sakura and Yamanaka Ino. Go get him, Ino. Chaoji shouted. That guy creeps me out. Then end it quickly, Ino. The large boy whispered to her. Okay. The blonde jumped down into the center of the ring. Her opponent was nowhere in sight. Bigado Sakura. Please enter the arena. I'm already here, with a blood-chilling voice. The dark figure started to appear from Ino's shadow. It kept rising until it was about 6'4". Sadly the girl didn't know it, that is, until she felt a light tap on her shoulder. Slowly turning her head, she jumped back in fear. For a small glimpse her eyes saw a scary vision. Regaining her composure the girl got into a stance. Ready, begin. The announcement. The girl ran at the black-clad ninja. When she completed a couple hand signals 4 clones became visible on either side of her. 2 grabbed, one grabbed each of his legs, while 2 others grabbed his arms. The last one flipped over the top of him. Rapidly she did a series of hand signs. Putting her hands in a weird shape, she mentally said. "Shintention no. I wouldn't do that," came Sakuro's deep voice. It was too late, Ino had entered his mind. She met a small version of the boy. She walked up to him and stood there for a while. Suddenly an enraged voice nearly shattered her eardrums. "What are you doing here?" it demanded. "What in the world? You should not be here," a small voice quavered. It was the curled up boy in the center of what she thought was to be his mind. "Why is that?" she asked. "You will endure the torture that I went through, leave before." He wasn't able to finish. Sakuro's memories of his past teammates and missions began to flood into her mind. Some were pleasant, but soon those were crushed and replaced with all of his horrible memories. An intense pain shot through her head. She cried out in pain. "You must get out of here," the boy yelled. "Please cancel it now." The silver-haired male ran at her. With all his might he pushed her out of his mind. She entered back into her body, but she was unconscious. Gently the tall boy picked up the girl. He jumped up to her. "Sensei. Asuma, take her to a hospital. If you don't, you can say goodbye to the Ino you knew." "What did you do to her?" Sakura tried to beat him to a pulp, but Naruto held her still. He walked over to the pissed-off Kunoichi. "It's not what I did to her, it's what she did to herself." "What?" Sakura Ino's Shintention no Jutsu makes her enter the mind of an opponent. Its greatest weakness is that she not only takes over her opponent's body, but she also gains their feelings, memories, and other things. She witnessed his life, and it put her into a state of shock. It nearly destroyed her if it wasn't for Sakura. Naruto informed, letting her go. Winner Brigado Sakura. Next match. The next match went quite quickly. It was the feminine teammate of Sakura's team and Rock Lee. The match didn't last long. Lee did a quick chop to the back of the neck. As usual the sickly judge told the crowd that Lee was the winner. Next match Haruno Sakura and she was going to fight the second grass genin. Begin. They ran at each other at a moderate speed. The grass nin pulled out a longer kunai. Using the forearm guard Sakura parried each blow over and over again. Once she got bored of this, a blade ejected from the guards. It went parallel to her arm. Then she pulled out 2 knuckle blades that connected with the forearm blades. This made a protective metal weapon that looked like 2 L's on her arms. The pink-haired girl began to instantly put her opponent on the defensive. The grass nin panicked and fell down. Instantly Sakura was on top of him with her arms crisscrossing over his neck. "I forfeit," he yelled. "Wow, Sakura has come a long way." "I agree." The next matches went shortly too. Shino beat Zaku, Shikamaru beat Kin, Tamari beat Tenten, Dosu forfeited to Gaara, and Niji beat Hinata. The next battle was Sasuke against Choji. The two faced each other with stern faces. Choji was the first to act. Using his meat tank he rolled up into a ball and sped towards the prodigy. Sasuke jumped up and was blown back a few feet from the impact that Choji made on the wall. "Sakura Kaiuen Jutsu," Sasuke yelled. His hand glowed with a dull blue color. On impact Choji minimized and looked completely drained of power. Winner Uchiha Sasuke. Next match. The last grass nin and Kankuro faced off. Using his mastery of puppets the grass nin didn't stand a chance. Winner. Kankuro. Next match Inuzuka Kiba and Uzumaki Naruto. The two prepared to fight. "So let's see how powerful you've gotten dead last. Don't be so cocky, Kiba. Don't boss me around, you won't even be a challenge to me." "Oh really? I bet you my necklace I can beat you in 1 minute," the dog boy said as he pulled a silver chain necklace that had 4 sets of fangs on it. "I will give you this. It's a family weapon. These are worth more than you can imagine." The blonde interrupted him as he held out a weird-looking kunai. "It's a deal, loser. Begin." Naruto went quickly into a strange stance. His right foot was placed behind him and his left was in front of him. His right arm was bent at the elbow, so his forearm covered his eyes while his left did the same, except it was a bit lower, about parallel to the mouth. All but his middle and pointer finger were extended towards the dog master. "Let's get this over with." The black aura began to slowly seep its way out of Naruto's chakra holes. It soon began to encircle the blonde. No one knew what this Naruto was doing. "Kakashi, what is Naruto doing?" "It's probably one of his self-created." "Do you know what it does?" "No, but maybe we'll find out." Kiba just stood there watching, waiting, and wondering. Suddenly his sensitive ears heard a low voice. It said Night of a Thousand Strikes. The darkness that surrounded the boy shot throughout the room, blinding everyone's view. Only some heard the few sounds that were made from his attack. A few seconds later the darkness dispersed. There on the ground lay the pretty beaten up Kiba. The blonde stood over him with a puppy in his hand. Winner. Uzumaki Naruto. The preliminaries were through. The Hokage himself appeared in front of the winning genin. Listen, and listen well. All 12 of you that have passed the preliminaries are going to participate in a tournament for the third part of the exam. After you get into a single file line, you will pick one piece of paper out of this box. When you get your number, tell the man over there. This process went relatively fast. The battles were Neji against Shikamaru, Sasuke against Temari, Lee against Gaara, Naruto against Shino, Akira against Sakura, and finally Sakura against Kankuro. You have 1 month to train and prepare for your battles. Now go and prepare. Asu. Most of the genin shouted. Naruto was instantly gone after that announcement. No one had a chance to stop him. The Hokage had just arrived when an Anbu was standing on his windowsill. Is something wrong? Sir Orochimaru is here. Yes, I know, Anko has already told me. Lord Hokage, I have 3 sound geniuses that would like to quit their participation with Orochimaru and join Kahona. I could bring them in. That means that they would have to become missing nins and traitors to the sound. Sandame, I know that you now know that Orochimaru is the leader of the sound. They are willing to join us. Bring them in and I will talk to them. Oh, and one last thing, they might be sought out by Orochimaru and I believe they should hide with someone or somewhere. How about that one building behind the Hokage mountain? That is the property of Uzumaki Naruto. Well, he doesn't own it yet. Could you deliver this scroll to him? It's the deed to that property and anything on it. Right away, sir. The Anbu disappeared swiftly. 3 sound nins were traveling around the large city. Suddenly a masked person appeared before them. Please come with me. The Hokage wishes to speak with you. Of course they followed. Once there an old man motioned for them to sit down. Their chat went for quite a while. So where do you believe you were going to stay? We don't know. Orochimaru could try and find us pretty soon, probably to kill us. You 3 could probably stay with Naruto since he just got a large house that no one except a select few know about. No one can enter unless Uzumaki Naruto himself brings you in. Speaking of which, he's outside the door right now. When Sandane pressed a button, a blonde boy stepped into the room. Naruto, welcome. I believe by now you know of your family's house. Yes, I do. Did you need something? Oh hi Kin, Dosu, and Zaku. Hello Naruto. They chorused. Naruto, I was wondering if you would allow these 3 to live in that house until it is safe for them to come out of hiding. I have no problem with that, except that that place is most likely a large mess. If they don't mind helping me move and clean it would be fine. Don't worry, we will help in any way we can. Kin informed him. Thank you. Do you want to start now? I don't have a lot of things at my house, so it will be a snap. Naruto explained. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. It didn't take them long thanks to the blonde's clones. The house was large. Its front lawn alone was enough to let 2 powerful shinobi have a good fight. The house was about 500 yards in front of them. Slowly they trudged onward, that is until they got to the front door. Opening the front door, they were all taken back. The place had some of the finest furniture. There was a large couch, a big screen TV, and a lot of other fancy things. Man, my father knew how to trick out his house. Naruto comes and looks at the kitchen. Dosu yelled. Holy crap. The place was loaded with tons of ramen flavors, but it also had a large supply of healthy food too. There were actually 5 different fruit trees in the back. They finished unpacking and choosing which room they would be staying in. All 4 of them ate dinner together. Hey, I forgot to give you these. The blonde tossed them each a leaf headband. I don't know if this is legal, but that Hokage gave me them. I'm going to go to sleep. I have a long month ahead of me. Oh, and if you need anything, do not leave this house. Call me using that thing I gave you in the Forest of Death. Okay. Yes, Naruto. They answered. The next day Kakashi informed him that he would be trained by another. Naruto agreed to this condition, but during his training, he ran into none other than the famous pervert Jiraiya, who taught him how to summon Gamabunta. The Iro Sennin taught him a few other things, but nothing much. The month came to a close. The third part of the chunin exam was